coronavirus pandemic has no parallel in modern history. It is our defining moment.
Right after the WHO declared the global COVID-19 pandemic, it began talking about infodemics, which refers to an overwhelming amount of information seen as dangerous due to its potential to undermine trust in public health authorities. Media campaigns nowadays are designed to make the ideas of the powerful seem like our own thoughts. For years, these media campaigns have been selling a new way of life as the only option, unless you want to destroy the planet and humanity. The COVID-19 pandemic has only accelerated this trend. Communication has become a tool of war, aiming to colonize our minds and souls. This is the essence of the Great Reset. Surrender yourself. We will do this for your own good. The grand slogan of the Great Reset is, "You will own nothing, but you will be happy." The Great Reset is the deity of the New World Order, or the New Normal, and it goes by various names. Great Reboot, Great Restart, Agenda 2030 to 50, New Normal, Globalism, Environmentalism, Feminism, and Gender Equality, Transhumanism. But they all serve the same purpose of implementing a new civilization where humans are subjected to technological control and surveillance, aiming to create a stable and peaceful world order, ultimately leading to a world state. In this world state, women will not have children, as only births deemed necessary by society will be allowed. We will all eat synthetic meats, not travel by plane. The traditional family will cease to exist. Nature will have owners, as evidenced by water already being traded on the stock exchange. And all inhabitants will worship Mother Earth, following guidelines set by official scientists, all in the name of saving the planet. We will have a new class of rulers, the globalist techno-oligarchs. You will own nothing, but you will be happy. That's the idea. You won't own anything because everything will belong to them. But you will be happy because they've already decided what happiness is for you. Whoever rules names things, and if you don't adapt to their standards, you'll be cast aside like a pest, or, at best, treated as a dangerous mental patient to the system, to the new normal. Aldous Huxley, in his book Brave New World, a dystopian novel with a pessimistic view of humanity's future, released in 1932, imagined our future this way: the development of reproductive technology, the cultivation of human beings in baby factories, and hypnopedia, indoctrination during sleep, are the pillars of a society organized into castes, where everyone knows and accepts their place. There are no more wars, poverty has been eradicated, and citizens are permanently happy. But at what price did they achieve the goal of this seemingly happy world? The answer is terrifying. The family has disappeared, and cultural diversity, art, literature, religion, and philosophy are mere memories of a distant and dark past no one in their right mind wishes to return to. The experience of love has been banished. Pain has been extinguished. The pleasure of personal and environmental discovery is forbidden. Everything is preconceived. Everything is predetermined. Conditioning begins in test tubes and in plantations of transgenic beings, destined to favor social stability, to ensure continuous and universal happiness. Society must be manipulated, just as it happened in Huxley's novel over 90 years ago. Today, we witness all this manipulation through the media and social networks, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, what does it mean, for example? The imposition of wearing a face mask as necessary for survival? Because if we don't wear it, we will die. Fear has been instilled in us so that we obey blindly, without even questioning whether the order is coherent or not. Indeed, in Huxley's novel, oxygen is the necessary condition for the production of servile human beings, known as epsilons, who lack intelligence because they didn't receive enough oxygen during their formation. And it doesn't stop there. The birth control present in Huxley's work is also desired today under the justification of climate control. Bill Gates has repeatedly said that we must curb climate change, and for that, It's essential to reduce global population growth. And the solution he proposed for this is the use of medical assistance in reproductive health. Read is the use of vaccines, abortion, and euthanasia. Isn't it a big coincidence that the COVID vaccines are killing thousands of people? According to Irish geneticist and virologist Dr. Dolores Cahill, we were told that the solution to COVID was an mRNA vaccine, which was safe and effective, but it's not. And it's causing enormous harm. The greatest damage from these vaccines will come in the next few years. Anyone over 70 who receives one of these mRNA vaccines will likely die within 2 or 3 years. And I would say that anyone who gets the shot, regardless of age, will experience a reduced life expectancy. If you're in your 30s, you'll die in the next 5 to 10 years, and you'll likely have neurocognitive, allergic, and inflammatory issues. And of course, infertility is the biggest consequence. Like in Huxley's book, life is an obstacle for the elites obsessed with social stability. Thus, to prevent rebellions, it's absolutely necessary to apply eugenic geopolitics, exactly what we've seen and suffered through with the protocols imposed during the global COVID pandemic. You might think this is all just a product of a fertile imagination, right? That there's no danger at all and no one could possibly do it. Well, what if I told you there are official documents about all of this we've discussed so far? During the 2016 World Economic Forum, created by Klaus Schwab, remember this name? Former Danish Minister of the Environment Ida Auken wrote an article about the societal position we should take by 2030. And here's a part of her text.
Welcome to the year 2030. Welcome to my city, or should I say, our city. I don't own anything. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I don't own any appliances or any clothes. It might seem odd to you, but it makes perfect sense for us in this city.
Remember Klaus Schwab, the great visionary behind the World Economic Forum? Well, this gentleman in 2021 declared that COVID-19 is an accelerator for the Great Reset. According to him, the pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world, and to forge a healthier, more equitable, and more prosperous future. Are you prepared to live in the year 2030? Are you ready for the new normal and to have your entire life controlled by a single world state? Are you prepared to own nothing and be happy?
One of the great lessons of the past 5 centuries in Europe and America is this: acute crises contribute to boosting the power of the state. It's always been the case, and there is no reason why it should be different with the COVID-19 pandemic.
The recovery from the pandemic is an opportunity. We can see rays of hope in the form of a vaccine, but there is no vaccine for the planet. Nature needs a bailout.
You don't want to go back to the status quo that you had before simply because it was the status quo that got us here.